BroncoStevens on the BroncoStevens channel on YouTube. How is everybody doing today? I got myself a little fan to move some air out here. It was getting to be too brutal. I was out here earlier today, had the garage door open, and it was in the heat of the day, and it was just miserable. And I was like, I gotta do something to get some air moving in here. So hopefully this will be a little bit more tolerable for me in the heat of summer. I'm just gonna play around like I've been doing at the beginning of my show here. I just came out here and started playing this riff after I tuned up the guitar, so we'll just keep playing around with it. Hey Rizai, how you doing? Good to see you. Rizai, I hope your day was good, man. What's it like walking around in a day of you? All I've ever seen was from me. Point of view talking about what's it like walking around on a day of you? For a day or two, it'd be nice if we all change places for a while. They beat you out your pretty games, they do. They beat you out your pretty games, they do. They beat you out your pretty games, they do. Beat you out your pretty games, they do. You'll get down before you get up. They're breaking you down. Do you really think you're supposed to feel like that? Don't lie to yourself. You know better, yes you do. Well, they'll beat you out your pretty games, they'll do. They'll beat you out your pretty games, they do. They'll beat you out your pretty games, they do. Beat you out your pretty games, they do. What's it like to feel like you're young again? To dream and be walking around in your skin. 'Cause you can beat them. And beat them at the pretty games you'll do. You'll beat them at the pretty games you'll do. You'll beat them at your pretty games you'll do. You'll beat them at the pretty games you'll do. Alright everybody, got off track for a second there, but other than that I thought it was pretty good. I'm just playing around, writing stuff. Oh yeah, I needed something to hold my guitar case while I took it off and put it on the little tripod mount, and so that works. You made a dagger from a stone. I'm looking right into this stupid ring light. It's blinding me. I gotta turn this thing. There's no way that's gonna work out, people. Let me see here. Whoa, that's way better. I might be a little more dark, but I can at least see you all's comments now. Alright, made a dagger from a stone tape and stick. Image will be on your channel soon. Cool. Yeah. You need to check that out, people. You guys need to check each other's stuff out. There's a lot of people out there doing stuff. And then, you know, it's worthy of a minute of your time to stop by. It doesn't take long to drop in and see somebody's stuff. Drones, how you doing? Santi, how you doing? Mark, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you, man. All right. See, I was just playing around with the new riff, because that's what I've been doing lately. I just kind of got burnt out on playing the songs that I've written. And Mark, I'm sure he's a musician. You should check out Mark Tully, an amazing singer-songwriter. But I'm sure in all the years of playing music, you get to a point where you write something and you're just like, I got to move on from that. And I've been feeling like that about all my songs lately. So I guess I'm just in a creative phase. You go in these spurts as a singer-songwriter where you're super creative like all at once, and then sometimes there's a drought, and then sometimes it's a mix of kind of the happy middle that you would hope is out there. But that's probably the least of the three, to be honest with you. You'll be back. All right, I'll be here. I'm just getting started. All right, let's do the other one. I've been kind of ad-libbing, just playing from emotion lately, people. Just letting it all sort itself out, which I do a lot when I write. I just kind of spill stuff out, and then I go back and grab the pieces that I like. I don't know, can't remember what I was going to call this one, but this is probably my favorite new one I've been working on. I like that one. I dare to say I love that one. I got to polish it up, but I do like it. I think it has great potential. All right, let's do today. I don't think I did that in a minute. All right. How's everybody doing? Anybody got fireworks going off near them? I don't know if they were popping them off during that song or not, but they're popping them off already here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Lots of noise. Yeah, it's probably, is that what you're talking about, fireworks? Or are you talking about my new fan that I put in here? Because I did put a new fan in. So I don't know if you're talking about like mic noise. Yeah, they're popping stuff off, people. You're by the lake. Oh, I'm sure, Mark. Oh, I'm sure they're blowing it up out there. Trying to celebrate the 4th. Must be the fan. Okay, so it is the fan. Yeah, and it's blowing like right at me, which is essentially in pretty good proximity to the mic. I turned it a little bit. Let's see if that's better. No, they're not popping off by you. I would expect they would be. Well, there's probably more like police presence or something. I don't know. All right, anyway, let's do today. I started out alright. So long through the thoughts of my mind. I started out alright. So long through the thoughts of my mind. Well, an eagle's fly upon the sky. I'll wait for you long to the night, and then only sing my song. Today I started out wrong. Wallowed in misery for far too long. Gotta get that one back in the circle. It's getting rusty on it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna kill the fan. I think I can make it without. At least we'll give it a shot, people. Come on. Something else. Check. Check. Oh, the fan's still going. I just have it oscillating. I swear I turned it off. No. This fan won't die. It's possessed. Literally, it's creeping me out. It won't stop. knob on it. Clearly it's broken. Something's crazy in my headphones. Apologies, people. Apologies, guitar. Check. It's a little better. All right. Yeah, illegal on the lake. Fireworks. Good evening. Would you dance with me? I'm leaving. Would you dance with me? Good evening. Would you dance with me? I'm leaving. One last chance for me. Plays it every time it goes this way. He's at the top of the stairs. She's a couple stairs down. The tension is high as if already he knows what she's gonna say. She delivers news like the precision of a precise bomb. Sank his battleship. He's on the ground, his hands on his head. As if he can hold in the thoughts that she said. And she tries to bend him, changing a word here, changing a word there. But this puzzle isn't put together. He won't speak. She's all out of words. She goes away. Good evening. Would you dance with me? I'm leaving. One last chance for me. Good evening. Would you dance with me? I'm leaving. One last chance for me. with his head, his eyes open. He knows what he's gonna say, but she turns, or he turns, and she had gone away. Nothing can change this feeling. The shame he feels. Unaware of his surroundings, his heart bleeding. Good evening, would you dance with me? I'm leaving, one last chance for me. Wait, I changed my mind. Wait. Never mind. All right, that song's Good Evening. How's everybody doing? I'm BroncoStevens, original singer-songwriter. Mainly just goofing off tonight, playing some newer stuff I've been playing around with, and none of what I've done really so far, other than today, is a finished piece, and that probably went the worst. See, you got to just go with the mood you're in. I find every time I fight my writing instincts or my musical instincts, then it doesn't go the way that I want it to go. Sometimes I'm in the mood to just jam out my stuff, and sometimes I'm in the mood to create stuff. And lately, create. Who's out there? Tell me who's out there. I'll throw you a song here. Mark, did I tell you about the movie that I got cast in? The whole story? Have you heard this one yet? Success, brother. Thanks, buddy. So, the other day, we were cleaning this bedroom. My father-in-law passed away. I'll just cut to the chase. We were cleaning out the room that he was in and recreating the space in our home. And we were getting rid of a lot of stuff, and we were having the kids like bag stuff up and all this. And I go tell my son, he's 12. I say, hey, just use the word son, just to protect his identity here. But I said, son, go take that trash outside. I'm set the guitar down. We'll just have a little chat. And it was dark. And so he's like, oh, Dad, can somebody? I'm like, what, you want somebody to go with you because it's dark outside? And I'm like, yeah, I can go with you. I'll stand there. And he was like, okay, good. Yeah, that's what I wanted. And I was like proud of him, because I teach my kids the world's kind of a creepy place, especially for 12-year-olds out in the dark. And I don't care where you live, stuff happens. And so anyway, I go outside and I'm just messing with him, just trying to see where his brain's at around his safety awareness and stuff. And I said, so son, what are you afraid of out here? And he goes, I'm afraid of kidnappers, stuff like that. Because we tell them, hey, know your surroundings. And if people do get abducted and never seen again, they did get disappeared. I guess we use that word. And so, I'm picking his brain. If you hear the dogs barking, I got them put up, because the neighbors are popping off fireworks, and they were about to jump through a window. They were so scared, so I got them put up in their crates for a little bit. But anyway, so he says kidnappers. I'm like, yeah, son, you're right. That's good. I said, well, what about werewolves? I'm just, I'm a goofy dad. And he's kind of chuckling, because he's 12. He's not out there worrying about werewolves. But I was just being silly. I was like, what about werewolves? And he was like, yeah, I guess that would be bad. And I said, well, what about kidnapping werewolves? And then I thought about all the werewolf movies I grew up watching. Most of them are pretty cheesy, like American Werewolf in London, and I don't know, Teen Wolf counts as a wolf movie, but I love the movie. I'm a huge fan of Teen Wolf. Who would I, I'm going to stand on the side of Teen Wolf. I don't care who's out there. If you're non-Teen Wolf, sorry. But anyhow, I don't know about the series, but the movie, the classic movie I grew up watching in like I don't know if it's the late 80s or early 80s, I don't know, in the 80s, was funny. And anyhow, getting sidetracked on Teen Wolf talk here. But so anyway, he goes, yeah, that'd be real bad. And so I'm like, I'm thinking about movies and stuff. That'd be a good movie, kidnapping werewolves. And so I go inside, and my phone rings, and it's this director that I've never heard of. He was like, hey, is this BroncoStevens? And I said, well, he was asking. He tells me all the details and stuff. And shush, I'm trying to tell a very critical story here. And so the guy was like, I was real skeptical, because I'm skeptical. So I asked like how he would know me and this and that. And so long story short, he knew a lot of people that I knew and seen a lot of things. He was talking about videos and personality and stuff. And he said, we have this movie coming out, and I think you'd be the perfect fit. And I was like, oh, really? What's the part? He goes, well, you'd be like a dad. And I said, oh, that's perfect, because I do a comedy bit called He's a Dad, and I have 6 kids, so I got a lot of experience with that. And so I said, great, yeah, I'd be great at being a dad. It's like, well, what's the movie? And he goes, Kidnapping Werewolves of Tulsa, right? And so my brain goes, I'm like, what is going on? This is the strangest thing that has ever happened to me. And so, I try to explain everything to him, and he's just like, okay, dude, I'm just trying to see if you want this part or not. And so finally it gets serious, and I'm like, okay, well, when can we do a sit down? Let's talk about this thing, and let me see what you've got. And he goes, well, just come back outside. And I'm like, what? And so I said, yeah, stick around, man. It gets weird. And so I go outside, and sure enough, there's a car light parking, like my driveway goes like this way, like I'm on the street. There's a car out there with headlights on, and the windows are down a little bit. And I'm like, is that you who I'm talking to? And he's like, yep. And cool ride. And it was like, he had neon lights and stuff inside of it. Kind of felt like getting into a club more than a vehicle. But so anyway, front windows down a little bit, and the back seats pop up, or doors, pop open. And he's like, get in. And so I get in, and then I didn't realize my boy, who took the trash out with me, had followed me out, because I'm on the phone talking to this dude and stuff, and it's the whole situation is just like, I feel like I'm in a dream. I'm like this, so I'm kind of caught up in the moment. And I sit down, and my boy gets in on the other side and sits down. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? I don't even know who this person is. I've taught him better safety awareness than that, and I should have known better, because that's like the craziest thing ever, right? And so, anyhow, he takes off, like literally like driving as fast as you could freaking drive in my neighborhood. I mean, if you were in the street, you'd have been in trouble. And so I'm looking at my kid, and he's scared to death. And it's even freakier because of the red neon lights, just like the energy of red light, it's kind of scarier. So it's already a weird situation. The music, he turns on this music, and it's just jamming like, let's go for a ride, let's go for a ride, you'll be lucky if you'll take your life home tonight. Let's go for a ride, let's go for a ride, you're bound to lose your life tonight. Let's go for a ride, let's go for a ride. And I'm like, what is going on? The whole thing, just imagine that. And then it gets crazy, because like he's got like a limo, like I'm telling the vehicle, I don't even know what it was. I'm poor, I don't know these things. But anyway, the window comes down, and he turns, and because I felt like I was in like a limousine, but it was not. It didn't look like a limousine. But anyway, the window comes down, and he turns like this, and he's a freaking werewolf. He's a werewolf for real, not like Teen Wolf werewolf. This dude's a full-blown werewolf, okay? And so at this point, I'm looking at my son, he's looking at me. One of us probably peed ourselves, if not both of us. It was a really weird moment. But then it gets stranger, so stick around. We stop at what looks like a Sam's Club. And I'm like, okay, this is crazy. The movie producer, who's actually the kidnapping werewolf for the movie that I thought of, that called me to cast me, and it has now turned me into the kidnappee, and we're getting walked into this Sam's Club. And I'm like, he's gonna take me shopping? Okay, we'll see. Let's see what's going on. So we go inside, and this place looks about as run down and old as you can imagine. There's no food there. It's not like a Sam's Club. It's not all lit and all that. There's no power in it. It's an abandoned warehouse essentially at this point. But the little spaces where what do you call them, the pallets where the food were in were turned into like miniature like housing additions. And I don't mean more like cells, because it was like one box, you know. But there was like stuff left from what seemed like people lived in each little square, but there were no people. And so the werewolf, I don't know, he's something, you know how that, you ever watch like an old, what do you call it, vampire movie? And there's like the vampire's all suave, and the women will fall for him and stuff. That's how the werewolf was. And I don't swing werewolf way or anything like that, but he just had this charisma about him that, or maybe it was the fear, or maybe I could smell the urine from before, and I'm like, I'm defeated. But anyway, hey, what's going on? Right here, and I'm doing good. And so the werewolf is walking me down these aisles, basically. Well, I mean, let's call them what they are. And he starts humming, and he's like, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten in 3 days. Excuse me, Mr. Werewolf, did you just say you're hungry and you hadn't eaten in 3 days? And he's like, yeah, you heard that, did you? And my son's pulling on my shirt like, Dad, stop. I'm like, just follow my lead. And so I'm like, Mr. Werewolf, let me ask you a question, buddy. And he looks at me, and it's one of those looks where they're either going to eat you or be your buddy, you know? You've had that. And so he looks at me and does that, and I have his full attention, obviously. And so I said, hey, just putting it out there, have you ever had a delicious steak from like a cow? Yeah, there's my dogs. They're up because of the fireworks. And he looks at me, you know, as just like a serious werewolf does, you know, look, they give you. And so he goes, no, why would I do that? I've never even considered that. And I said, dude, you know, because it's delicious. That's why you should do it. And I can tell he's thinking, you know. And so I'm like, tell you what, buddy, here's the deal. I just bought like a half a cow the other day. I said, let's go back to my house, me, you, and my boy, and we'll have ourselves an old fashioned. I might have to let the dogs out. It seems they're more scared of my garage than the fireworks. Or they might have to pee or something. Just give me 30 seconds. This story's worth hearing, okay? So hang in there. I'll be right back. Let me unplug something because I don't want you to get a bunch of feedback. All right, I had a little discussion with myself letting the dogs out. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. Probably not, because I unplugged this. Hey, you dropped my phone case, buddy. All right, so the werewolf finally looks at me, and he gives me one of those looks, you know, where the werewolf looks at me, just back a little bit. You know, gives you one of those, yeah, okay, kind of like Scooby-Doo. And he's like, all right, we'll try that. You scratch a little lower. So we go back in his car. try this steak that you make. But if you make a mistake and a mistake, then I will certainly eat you and your son. It sounded cooler that day in the car, when it was on the radio and stuff. Maybe it was because my heart was beating out of my chest, keeping time. I don't know. And so we get back to the house, and I'm like, son, get ready, fire up the barbecue, because we are cooking. I mean, you're on one of those TV shows or something, and you're cooking for Chef Gordon Ramsay, and they're all in your face. It's like that, but imagine it being a werewolf, It's a little more intense, because also your life is at stake. You're not just trying to win some whatever prize. If I don't pull off the steak situation, I'm literally dinner. And so, anyhow, we're cooking out there, and my wife comes outside, and the werewolf, let me just tell you something. I'm very protective of my wife, okay? And of course, my son too, okay? I'm doing great, Alicia. I was just talking about when I got cast in the movie as the dad for the kidnapping werewolves of Tulsa. And so, anyhow, my wife, I'm protecting my wife, and she comes outside, and he looks at her, and he goes, juicy. And that was it for me. It was on. And so I grabbed that dang werewolf by the neck, and I did the old-fashioned chokehold, because I grew up watching. Well, I used to wrestle, so I know some moves, people. But I was doing illegal stuff because I wanted to try to stay alive and defeat the werewolf. And so then my boy jumps up, also trying to hang on to his, because the werewolf's more like a horse neck. You ever give a werewolf a hug? No? If you haven't, then you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But if you have given a werewolf a hug, then you get it. He's a little more space in here. So my son jumps up, and he's hanging, he's tall. He's basically just hanging there. And the weight of him is actually helping the situation, because the werewolf is starting to go a little bit, like you can tell he's not breathing good. And so he's going more limp. And but then he makes the super werewolf strength that they have. He makes a big maneuver, and my boy goes flying. Well, of course, I'm protective of my boy too. And so I started metamorphosizing, I guess is the right word. Like if you've ever seen like Venom or something, where he's all like, my arms, I'm getting like extra arms, and I'm like defending with arms I don't have, and stuff like that. Super strength. I felt like I was growing as the whole thing was happening. And so, long story short, it doesn't take me long to basically almost beat this werewolf to death. But right before it happens, my wife, being the extraordinary gal that she is, takes a piece of steak from the grill and takes it on the tongs and literally shoves it right in the werewolf's mouth. And at that point, it's like time had stopped. It's one of those situations where you're staring at the werewolf's staring at you, your wife's staring at the werewolf, you're staring at wife, everybody's staring at everybody, but all at once, with all time not really existing. It was one of those moments. Surely you've had those too. Is that a dead body? Let's talk about it. Scratch a little lower. Oh, that's the spot. Yeah, that's the spot. That hand? No, it's not a dead body. It's surely a living body. For sure. Okay. So anyhow, how's it going? Riz is back. Good to have you back. Yeah, so I was telling the story. I don't know if you heard when I got cast as the dad in the kidnapping werewolves of Tulsa, but I was just telling the story. And so anyway, my wife shoves the steak into the werewolf's mouth, and it's this intense moment of everybody staring at everybody all at once without time. And he goes, stop! When a werewolf yells stop, it's a little louder than like when you or I do. It just has a little more. You ever hear wolves like barking at the moon? It's kind of like that, but human on steroids. Like combine the three of those things. Maybe with like a foghorn in there too. It's just like a bass. I don't know. It's hard to describe. If you've heard it, you'll never forget it. Okay, you're so confused. A human. I'm trying to make videos for your channel. Good. A human in the werewolf costume? Oh, no. It was a real werewolf. It was a straight up, legit werewolf. But wait, I'll tell you the rest. And it'll all make sense. And so, long story short, he screams stop. We all kind of stop. I don't know, again, it's that charisma or that suaveness or, that werewolves have. I don't know. And again, I don't swing towards werewolves. It's not a thing. But he just had this commanding presence, I guess is the best word for it. And so we all stop. And he goes, I like it. And I'm like, what in the world? What? You like us attacking you? And he goes, I like the steak. And I'm like, good, I'm glad. And so now you're not going to eat me and my son? And he's like, no, I'm not going to. I like the steak. And so I said, okay, so what's the deal? And he goes, what do you mean, what's the deal? I said, well, are you going to get your steak? Are you going to leave us alone? Or you need something more out of us? And he goes, I thought you were going to feed me the steak. I think he just thought it was going to keep him like a pet or something. I already got a bunch of dogs. I don't need a freaking werewolf pet on the side. And so, long story short, I guess I hurt his feelings. I should have been more sensitive at the time, but I just thought werewolves were all tough and stuff. And they're just like you or I. He's just a werewolf trying to get by. And so he disappears, and I don't see him for the longest time. And then one day, my son and I are in the grocery store, and we're buying some meat. And I look at the packaging, and it's literally the spitting image of this werewolf. And what he had done is he became a farmer and started the largest production of meat, probably in the world. I mean, everywhere. Just his meat is everywhere now. But I am a little skeptical that there might be people in it because he's a werewolf. But I think he really liked the cow. So let's hope, fingers crossed, let's hope that we're not eating like some kind of crossbred werewolf meat. But anyway, so I got to thinking about it, and I was like, man, this movie's really deep, And so I was thinking, you got the werewolf kidnapper who all he ever ate in his whole life was humans. And so that's what he was used to. And so, yeah, he was going to eat my boy and I, and that was just because that's what he did. He didn't know anything different. But then I gave him this other option, of trying cow. And he was like, I could do that. And what did he go and do? He became the biggest distributor of meat everywhere. So he changed. He was able to change who he was and just start over again, And so anyway, yeah, that's the werewolf. And then I thought about the battle, that day him and I were battling, and how I started metamorphosizing and changing and just doing like super weird things. And I thought about it, and I thought, I guess I'm capable of extreme change during difficult times too. I've got that built in. And I thought, the Kidnapping Werewolf of Tulsa is a pretty deep movie when you think about it. And I was really glad that I thought of the movie and that I cast myself as all characters and storyteller. And so I told myself this would be the Kidnapping Werewolves of Tulsa. So anyway, I'm just telling stories, people. If that made no sense to anybody, it's because I'm a crazy old man that likes to tell stories. But I like there to be like a hidden message in it. And that's why I was saying at the end, I believe in that message. I believe that a lot of us go through life doing what we're used to doing, because that's all we've ever done, and that's all we're going to continue to do. The werewolf, all he ever ate was people, and he would have just kept on eating people until somebody gave him a different way, the dad. And then, I think of, the struggles that we all have, and sometimes we don't change in extreme circumstances. When change is needed, we get stuck, and metamorphosizing and changing and defeating that struggle, that internal struggle, is kind of the imagery in that battle scene. And so, anyhow, just wanted to put that out there, people. And I think I'm going to do, thanks, Steve. Thanks, Mark. And I think I'm going to do a series of these little movies. I'm going to call them short films is what I'm going to call them. They'll all just be me telling stories. But isn't a story just on video, a movie, kind of, documentary? I don't know what it is. I'm going to call them short films because I'm going to create them. I can call them whatever the heck I want. And but I'm going to try to do like 30 minutes is the kind of the realm of that. And I'm going to put music in all of them because I like to put music in at weird points and stuff. But anyhow, thanks so much for hanging out with me. It's miserably hot out here without my fan running. but it was making a little bit of too much noise. And so you'll getting messages across and getting to have clear communication with you all is well worth it though. So everybody, thanks for hanging out. If you are not subscribed to BroncoStevens, what are you doing, people? Let's hang out some more. I'll tell you some more stories. I'll play some music. Usually I'll play music, but you never know what I'm going to do, because I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's where I'm at, is I want to do what my heart and mind and soul tell me to do, versus just what everybody else does and tells me to do. So take care, everybody. Not going to be too more deep any longer. You all go have fun. Don't just go mindlessly scrolling stuff. Do some stuff, people. Do stuff. Do stuff.